Do parents even beat their kids anymore?
I don't know. They should.
Welcome back to Dumb and Broke. I'm Chelsea.
And I'm Bryan. I was like saying it with you, and I almost like said it out loud right when you said I'm Chelsea. I almost just like cut you off and be like, I'm Bryan. If the two people who watched the podcast last week first, I'm so sorry. Only 7 minutes was uploaded for like the first hour. I don't know how
really?
I don't know how that happened, but like it gets uploaded on YouTube at 8 a.m. And then I checked it at 9 a.m. and I saw that the podcast was 7 minutes long. And I was like, huh? And it just like randomly like ended. So like there was 2 views too. I'm sure those 2 people were like, huh? Like short podcast.
It's a teaser.
Yeah. It was so weird. I was like, I literally can't even explain how that even happened either. So I don't know.
I have no idea. It would be kind of crazy though to just mess with people though. I mean, if people are in such a rhythm of like listening every week, to just release something one week that is insane.
Yeah. It just like ended so abruptly too. It's like, it was like such a clear mistake, but I don't know. I guess people make mistakes.
Everybody makes mistakes. Yeah. Everybody has those days.
And a couple people were upset with our Kelly Clarkson take.
Interesting. Kelly Clarkson does have fans, I'll tell you that.
Oh yeah.
And I'm one of them. Yeah.
And that's what like at this point we haven't even posted like the social clip yet, which in the podcast, if you listen to the podcast, you were like so favorable of her. I was like the one that came up with the controversial opinion, but still was saying I'm a fan of her. But the way I edited the podcast clip, it's very like even. It kind of sounds like you kind of are shitting on her too. So I'm sorry for that. Any hate that's coming your way after that.
You know what? I'll take it. I'll take it.
But you know, some people will like comment or like text us, and sometimes I want to be like, did you listen to like the whole part? Because like we like her too. You know what I mean? I get that. I don't know. I get that a lot. Our friend Bridget sometimes I feel like prematurely comments on things, and then
she's got to get it out while it's still fresh on the mind.
I appreciate it though, because like she's listening.
She's listening.
You know, and she's locked in too. So I appreciate it. We love you, Bridget.
All that to say, Kelly Clarkson was still not on my Spotify Wrapped.
Right.
Or your Apple Music.
It's actually a controversial opinion of mine. Not Spotify versus Apple. I think they're essentially the same thing. But the whole like raps in general, like I only care about mine and like yours. I don't care about like the rest of the world. So like when people complain about like, oh my God, it's that time of year, everyone's posting on their story, I kind of understand the sentiment, but But on the same side, I'm kind of like, let everyone just have fun.
I love to see it.
Do you?
Would you have cared if Taylor Swift wasn't my number one?
She wasn't last year, was she?
She wasn't. And it was kind of embarrassing for me.
Would I care? Probably a little bit.
You would give me a little bit of hate. There was a part of me that was just like, please let it be Taylor Swift this year. But then...
Because of Bryan? Or else Bryan will give me shit?
I just feel like I talk about her all the time. So then it would be like to the world, you know, is she even a real fan?
Right.
But then on the flip side of it, I am looking at everybody else's that they're posting, and I'm like, I'm the same as every other bitch.
Yeah.
I am not different than other girls.
Yeah.
I am just alike. Yeah.
I know. There's all my friends, like Taylor's on everyone's top 5. Mm-hmm. Eddie actually sent me a controversial, was it Eddie? No, it was Fiote. He sent me a controversial opinion that I guess Taylor and Beyonce was on his top 5. And he was like, this would be a good controversial opinion. I forgot why. But I think I get it. Because like, you know, those two girls are constantly pinned against each other. But like, in reality, most of us like them both.
We like them both.
Like, Beyonce didn't make my top 5, but like, I like Beyonce a lot. You know,
I will say the last 2 years I had somebody problematic creep in there, and like I was trying to avoid that. Well, he wasn't problematic last year, but Zach Bryan was my number 1 top artist. Are you familiar with the T?
I've been seeing a lot of Brianna Chicken Fry?
Yeah, apparently he's like this narcissistic asshole to her and all of his ex-girlfriends, and like pay them off after relationships to not tell stories about it.
I don't know much about it. The only reason why I know anything is because of the breakup, she's become a Swiftie.
Oh, true.
She's on like this whole like Taylor Swift journey, and I love to see it.
Yeah.
And you know, it like, I think anyone who doesn't get Taylor Swift
just needs to get broken up with.
Yeah, you need to get your heart broken, and then listen to Taylor Swift,
and then start with the good shit.
You'll get it. And I'm not saying like
you're thinking about her as like this pop princess, and no, you just need to go through something.
Yeah. So I feel bad for you that if you didn't get your heart broken and don't get to
if that's on the docket for you in 2025, there's a pro to that.
Yeah. There really is. It's like like the things I would do to like listen to some songs for the first time again.
I will say this was the first year that I was kind of proud. I'm a big fan of a breakup song. But I do feel like it looks really sad when I'm posting my like top 5 songs and top 5 artists, and they're just depressing. Yeah. And they're like, who did she get broken up with? No one. But they were all like positive love songs. So I think I'm putting something out into the world maybe.
What were your top songs?
They were Sweet Heat Lightning.
By who?
Which is Gregory Alan Isakov. Love song. Too Sweet by Hosier.
I don't know. But I know who you're talking about. Take Me to Church, right?
Anyway, yeah. Anyway, I Love You by Wild Rivers. And then Forever by Noah Kahan. And then Trouble by Rich, which is also
I think it's funny. I've seen this a lot where like people's top artist is Taylor Swift, but their top songs are not Taylor Swift. I'm like,
right.
How does this work?
But I just listen to all of hers equally. I don't feel like Taylor Swift, there's like one song that I hyperfixate on in the way that I hyperfixate on other songs.
Because all of Taylor Swift's music is good.
Yeah, I listen to all of hers. It's like the albums are like a masterpiece. So I'm like going
That's fair.
Down.
Yeah, she like her album, Torture Poets Department, is the #1 streamed album of the year on Spotify and Apple. But none of her songs are the most streamed songs, like top 10 or maybe top 20. She didn't make any of them. So it's like that's like an interesting thing. So it's like people are listening to the album, but not like they're not like repeating the songs over and over again.
But on the flip side, I'm not like listening to Noah Kahan's album for the sake of the album.
Yeah.
Of going like through it. I just really like some of the songs.
That's how I think like, yeah, I like a lot of music, but like, and a lot of different artists. But I do have a hard time listening to their albums because I don't necessarily like the entire body of work of a lot of artists. Like I really got into Chaperone this year, really like her. But like in the album that came out, she only has one album, right? The Midwest Princess, whatever. I have like 4 or 5 songs downloaded. The rest I just like meh, you know?
Yeah.
And then she made my top 3 artists of the year. So I don't know. It's interesting how people approach music, I guess.
I will say I do love to see it.
Yeah.
It is also one of those things that just reminds me that like we are not the same. Like I feel like I go through waves of thinking like, oh yeah, everyone is like kind of similar to me. And then I see somebody Spotify Wrapped with 5 artists and 5 songs that I've never heard of in my life.
Yeah.
Or like 5 artists and 5 songs that I would never care to listen to, but I have heard of. And I'm like, wow, we are all very different.
Yeah.
Except not me. I'm like every other bitch. But
same.
Yeah.
Nicki Minaj, Doja Cat, they always make my top 5 somehow. Not somehow.
Yeah. I'm like, what do you mean
I can
somehow?
tell you exactly how. But I actually don't care about anyone else's besides my very close friends and my own. Like everyone else, irrelevant to me.
I want to know. I want to know everyone's.
Yeah. When was the last time you screamed?
Oh. This is like sounds provocative, but I'm not really a screamer.
Oh, yeah.
I'm more of a like a
Oh, okay. So like
but not like a
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But like, do you ever feel like you need to? You can say no. The answer could be no.
No, I don't think so.
I do. Like, there's sometimes where I'm like, I think I would feel a lot better if I just screamed at the top of my lungs. And I sometimes do it in the shower. Is that weird?
No, I kind of love it.
Sometimes I'll just scream. But it's usually...
I feel so bad for your neighbors. They're like,
No.
he?
No. But what I do, it's actually usually when after the shower, and I do it in the towel.
Oh.
Is that also weird? Should I not have shared that?
Maybe something to share with your therapist. The last time Bryan sent me a text the other day. He was like, actually, I'm like healed. I have nothing to talk about in therapy. So maybe jot that one down.
Listen, it's not like daily. It's not weekly. Maybe not even monthly. But like once in a while.
But it was recent?
It was recent. I screamed in my towel.
Did you feel better?
Yeah, like instantly. Like
Great.
I highly recommend screaming. And yeah, I mean, like, I'm not going to scream in my apartment because someone will, the whole block will hear me. But in the towel, I think no one can hear me.
Maybe I don't feel the need because I literally yell on a daily basis.
Oh, right. At work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not like screaming.
Oh, actually.
But I hit a pretty high tone.
Your normal talking voice is actually.
I scream for a living.
You're screaming right now. That's so true. Maybe that is. Yeah, so I don't know what that is. Maybe you're right. You know, it's funny. Yeah, the last couple of sessions with my therapist, I'm going into it like not feeling like I have anything to talk about. But there you go. I have so much to unpack right there.
That is something too, because I felt that way yesterday when I had the therapy. There's something like so cathartic. And listen, first of all, I will always be a therapy advocate, but there's something so cathartic and powerful when you're having a bad day or you're like going through something and you have therapy.
Yeah.
But like yesterday I was having an awesome day, like a perfectly normal day. And I went into it and I was like, okay, I don't really have much to talk about, but we'll just go with the flow. And then I ended the session feeling like, what the fuck? I found a problem.
Yeah.
I found one.
Mm-hmm.
And ultimately it's going to be good for me, but I was having a really good day until that just ruined it.
I kind of had the same exact thing yesterday. Like, I didn't have anything to talk about, but then the hour came up and I was like, whoa, I was talking for the whole hour. How did that happen?
Yeah.
And it was like two different subjects.
As we sit here and talk for an hour back and forth.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
I think we're just like...
Well, I can yap.
Yeah.
I can yap all the... But like about... and about problems too.
Yeah.
Usually about other people's problems. Other people that I have problems with.
Yeah.
Not my problems.
Personally.
Because I don't really have many.
Mm-hmm. Go scream again.
There's this meme about, you know, I love like the astrology. I was about to say astrology in a very weird accent.
Astrology.
Yeah. And it's like how blank apologizes. And like, they're all so funny. And then Leo's was blank because we don't apologize because we're never wrong. We don't do anything.
Totally. I think mine in those scenarios is just like I just ignore somebody or I get up and walk up and leave.
Yeah.
Which also tracks.
I do have a hard time apologizing. No. I have a hard time finding a reason to apologize.
Especially if you do feel like you're right.
Yeah. If I genuinely feel like I'm wrong, I will apologize. I just don't have many opportunities of that. It sounds horrible, but like, I'm being honest. Like, I
keep going.
I just feel like I'm a very level-headed person, and I make decisions with a level head.
So if I did something that hurt your feelings, just know that you did it on purpose.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, you provoked me.
Yeah, and I'm not going to apologize for something I intentionally did on purpose.
I'm only half joking, too.
I honestly get it.
Yeah, I mean, I make mistakes, but like, you know, not to the point where I have to apologize. Like, get over it. You know,
you're good though, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's never that big of a deal, but wow,
No,
I'm
I feel
toxic.
that.
I have a lot to talk about with my
a lot
therapist.
to start jotting those notes down.
Shit.
Hard pivot. I was on Hinge for a single day on Sunday.
Oh, I was actually Herman asked me this morning randomly, how's Chelsea's dating life?
Not great.
Like, that's such a sweet question to ask.
I did talk about that in therapy. It's just along the lines of like, I don't care. Like, I feel like I get that question a lot. It's like, oh, are you dating? Like how are you putting yourself out there? And I'm like, I care about meeting someone, I guess, but I care about meeting the right person, and I care about like conserving my energy, I think, a little bit more.
Fair.
But yeah, I was on Hinge for one day because I was like, okay, maybe I could be doing more. And it's not going to be there. It's just that's not where it is.
So did you delete it, or do you still have
Yeah,
it?
I deleted it within a day. It was like 5 hours. All the likes that I got, I was just thinking, absolutely not. It just puts me in a more sad state than honestly if I'm sitting in my apartment by myself hoping to meet someone feels better than being on Hinge.
Yeah, I get that. I like Hinge, the app designed to be deleted, and it does get deleted all the time.
And not for the reasons it's designed.
Right. It's such a weird cycle. Like, because when you're downloading it and you're like doing your profile over again, and even like the first 20 swipes, it's kind of an exciting feeling. Don't really want to admit that.
Yeah.
It is. And you're like hopeful.
No, there's something validating, and like I get the appeal.
Right.
Definitely get it.
And getting likes, if someone likes your photo or whatever. But then like that wears off so quick. And it's, yeah, I get it. It's like the feeling of not dealing with that is actually better than being on it.
Yeah. Well, and I think the part about Hinge specifically where like at the very beginning when I signed on, it's giving me hot people that I find attractive. And then immediately when I start liking those people, it stopped giving me those. And then all of the people that were liking me were just not my type.
Yeah.
And then you go into your like rose jail, and then there's all the hot people. So it's like creating this impression in my head that one, there's not very many hot people, and two, that I'm not in that same league. And listen, if that's the case, I'd rather be delusional. And I don't know, it just like makes me feel, I think, a little bit more desperate than I would otherwise.
Right.
So I was like,
I know, like even like hearing you speak, like you don't even sound like, to be honest, like you don't even sound like Chelsea. Like wouldn't like what I'm trying to say is like who we are when we're scrolling is actually not the real person that we are in the wild, because like I feel like you would allow yourself to get to know and go on a date someone that isn't hot by Hinge.
Oh, totally.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. I could fall in love with anyone.
But like you wouldn't give yourself that opportunity on a first glance on Hinge.
True.
So like it's not really a good, like people get lucky. I mean, so many people are finding their partner on the apps, but like I don't think it's like the best way to do it at all.
Yeah. Well, and I think I also just struggle with like how to put myself in a dating profile that's like, I don't want to put a bathing suit picture, even if it's fun, because like I don't want somebody to get the wrong idea. And then it's like, if I put something fitness on there, then is that all somebody is going to talk to me about? And then I'm going to be bored. If I put something like too goofy, I don't know. It's just like, there's not the right mix. And I'm sure all of the guys kind of feel that way too. Or maybe they don't.
Not all of them.
But yeah, I think it's just not for me.
Yeah. I think I do believe in timing. I was about to say something super corny, like everything happens for a reason, but like I think we all have a time and place in life, and like the stars will align when they align. Like,
I love the stars.
Yeah, exactly.
I do think I'm about to start getting more bold in public. Because it's like, what are they going to do?
Hey,
reject
me? Take me out.
I might just be like, hey, I think you're really attractive. Period.
I like
and then
that.
They can do whatever they want with it.
I feel like everyone wants that too. Like, everyone should be like that.
Right.
Nothing's handed to you in this world. Go get what you want.
Go get it. And like, what's the worst? I mean, nobody doesn't like hearing that they're attractive.
Right.
So he says thank you. And I'm just like, okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Bye.
Question. Are you afraid of getting old?
No. I actually think the older that I get, the more it like resonates with my personality. But I think I get afraid that I'm going to like have regrets or not take advantage of my youth.
I'm like, yeah, I get why I asked that question is because my grandma, who is 96 years old, like every time I talk to her, she has like such a good sense of humor. But I could tell that like she's just like bored like with life. And I'm like, I don't want to feel that way. Like, but like, I don't even blame her. Like she makes these jokes basically like, I'm still here, or like, I'm going to stop taking all my pills and see what happens. Like, I'm like, oh my God. Like I actually find it like genuinely funny, but it's like not actually funny.
Right.
But like, I get it. At 96 years old, like she can't really do anything.
Does she have friends?
Not really.
Oh.
No, like she used to, but now she like moved away from her friends. Most of that's another thing. A lot of time when I talk to her, she's like, oh, this person died. This, like they drop in like flies. I mean, at that age, most of them died a long time ago. Most people don't make it to 96 years old, you know?
Right.
She's outlived 2 of her kids.
That's crazy.
So like, anyways, my point is like, I don't blame her for like, she's never said this, but like, if she wants to go, I don't blame her. I would want to go too.
I'm like trying to imagine a world where I'm just sitting.
I don't know if I want to be that old.
I don't think that's controversial though. Like I feel like a lot of people don't want to be that old.
Once life stops being fun, if I don't have anything to look forward to, which is honestly what I think, like my grandma like has very, very little to look forward to. I don't want to be here anymore.
Oof. I got a long way to go. There's a lot of fun to be had.
Yeah. Not that.
You're about I felt that joke coming. I felt it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I got a few good years.
I'm not necessarily afraid to be old. I just don't want to be.
Yeah. I mean, no, I would still need, like, I still need a friend group.
Yeah.
If you're not, like, texting memes in the group chat or whatever it is by the time we're 90, like,
what is old going to look like for us?
Crazy.
Right?
Honestly, I'll probably be fine because I think I'll have an AI boyfriend.
That'll be fine. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. I feel like none of us are going to be lonely.
He'll be like fully, like, I don't know. I'll probably have a whole ass robot at that point.
Family too.
I'll just
robot kids.
purchase them.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sell everything that I have and buy me a boyfriend.
Yeah. Like that, honestly, that's going to happen. Not necessarily for you, but I'm just saying that.
Thanks. Delete Hinge. Robot boyfriend it is.
Random, but I'm thinking about getting LASIK eye surgery.
Okay.
And my dilemma with it is that the thing is I don't necessarily like wearing glasses, but I like the way I look in glasses.
I was about to ask, I'm going to need you to take your glasses off so I can just see how you would look without glasses.
You're like, put them back on?
No. Cute.
No. They're great. I don't know. I just like...
You look awesome.
Thank you. I like the way I look. So like, I don't want to like regret it. And I know a lot of people probably like just get fake glasses and wear them. I don't know, if something about that just seems wrong for me. I get it. It's just like an accessory, but like to me, wearing glasses as an accessory is almost like cultural appropriation.
You just like
to blind
pretending to have an eye issue. I mean, you sit in front of a screen most of your day and get blue light glasses. Call them blue light. I mean, they do actually exist, but I feel like people wear glasses and say they're like, oh, they block the blue light.
Oh yeah, but like, I like the way I look like in the for other people to see me.
Blue lights everywhere.
Oh, true. On our phones. I don't know. That's what's on my mind.
Do you just want to be able to see better? Is that the thing?
I just like the idea of like waking up and like open my eyes and being able to see. I also like a genuine fear of mine is like, what if the apocalypse happens? Or like, what if I get someone like breaks into my house and I need to run out and like I don't have my glasses on. I can't see. Or like if I am running from someone and I trip and fall, like I'm not going to last long in the apocalypse. Natural selection would have gotten my ass.
I'm going to go, but it's not going to, my eyesight is going to be fine.
Yeah.
I think that's a valid
reason
to get
also
LASIK.
like sunglasses. Like I have to, like when I go to the beach, I have to like bring 2 sets of glasses. I bring my sunglasses, which are prescription, and these, and I have to like swap them out. And it's like this whole thing, you know?
Yeah.
I don't know. First world problems.
I say do it.
Yeah. We'll see. All right. Let's just get into controversial opinions.
Great.
What do you have?
Have you seen those? The videos, we listen and we don't judge.
Oh, yeah. I have.
I think that's weird.
And then they say something really fucking rude.
Yeah. But I think it's weird as a viewer for couples, because I genuinely feel like by the end of the video, I'm like, I know what you guys actually fight about.
Oh, like explain. I don't know exactly what you're talking about.
Well, there's like it's usually a couple and they say together, we listen and we don't judge. And then they say something that's like, sometimes when, and I'm trying to think of one in particular. There's one couple that I saw. It's like an influencer couple. He's like, sometimes when, I say I don't know the details of a golf trip, I actually planned it. And she's like, I knew that. And then we went, but it was just like back and forth to the point where I was like, oh, I know exactly what you guys fight about. And I can feel the tension sitting in my space here. And I think that's most of them is like, I can feel the annoyance and I don't like it.
Okay. So I have a completely different experience with that trend because I see it on Twitter and people are like vile on Twitter. And it's like, we listen. What's it?
We listen and we don't judge.
And then they like post a picture of someone and they're like, they're butt ass ugly. I'm like, oh my God. So I think they're like taking it to a different level.
See, I am just not on Twitter.
Yeah. Twitter is wild. Like people are, you can see whatever you want on Twitter. There are no rules.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's crazy for them to just like do random things off the cuff. I'm sitting in the like, it's a couple going back and forth saying things.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I saw one like literally right before you came over, like Orlando Brown, you know, Orlando Brown from That's Raven. He did it and then like was talking about how he like went down on Raven and it like smelled bad. Like that's what he said. But he's like,
is he good?
No, he's not good.
Oh no! Wow, this is a new revelation.
Yeah. You haven't seen Orlando Brown like
no
videos over the last like 5 years?
No,
he is like
none.
He's gone. Like he is not there mentally.
That's so sad.
Yeah,
another child star lost.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Wow.
But yeah, that trend is weird. But I guess I'm seeing it on a different end. I haven't seen the videos that you're talking about. I haven't seen that.
Yeah. It's weird. It makes me uncomfortable.
Yeah. I don't want to be like in your relationship.
No.
Whenever you see that, even firsthand, like your friends and like, you can tell like,
it's like, and I'm like, you are boiling inside and I can feel it.
Oh my God, it's so uncomfortable.
It's so uncomfortable.
It's like, I don't want to be here. It's kind of like when you were a kid and like you're at your friend's house and like their parents are like hitting them and you're like, what am I supposed to do?
Right.
I'm just like watching my friend get beat by their dad. Awkward.
That wouldn't happen this day and age, I don't think.
I don't think yeah. I don't know.
Do parents even beat their kids anymore?
I don't know. They should. Okay. My controversial opinion stems from as you were leaving last week, you talked about what movie did you see last in the theaters?
Moana 2.
And you were like, do you want to go? And I was like, no, I'm an adult. Like, I don't watch that.
getting roasted offline.
Animated movies, like, not my thing.
I'm obsessed.
And like, I think a lot of adults are. I think like, but I also think there are a lot of people with my mindset that like, I don't know. It's just like, it's not as satisfying to me. It's like,
have you watched one recently? Because I do feel like they have a lot of things in there for adults that you just don't notice when you're kids.
You know, I
like innuendos, and that you're just like, oh, that's hilarious, that I never would have gotten as a child.
I understand that, but like, I don't know, something about like watching a cartoon, just, it doesn't, I guess I want to see humans, and it's just like, it's not fulfilling a need that I need. And like, I don't know, but I think a lot of people watch those kind of movies because it feeds their inner child while also like, you know, they're getting some adult content along the way too. But I don't know. I'm just like, I'm not.
What do horror movies feed for you?
A lot. I like adrenaline and like.
There are two different types of girls.
Yeah. I know. I forget that sometimes like horror movies, like most people don't like horror movies.
Right.
Like having horror as my favorite genre of film is quite controversial.
I don't even think like, I can handle a horror movie. There's some that I even like in a group setting. So I can't say that I don't necessarily like them, but I do find it wild that you watch them on your own.
Yeah.
Solo.
Yeah.
No chance. I'll be in my apartment watching Disney Plus.
Yeah. I'm trying to think the last animated film that I watched though. I like can't think of one. I just like don't. I recently rewatched The Wizard of Oz, and I just saw Wicked last night, which is not my entire personality after watching it, but I did really like it. And as someone who doesn't like musicals, who has said that over and over on this podcast, you don't really like musicals either, right?
Not a huge,
right?
Yeah.
I usually find them just like fucking annoying and like, but whatever. I was pleasantly surprised how much I liked it. I think you'll like it too.
Do you think it was Ariana Grande?
To me, so the reason why I was even like excited to go is because I am an Ariana Grande fan, and like I, you know, read so many interviews or seen so many interviews of her like just describing how much the role has meant to her. It was like her lifelong dream. I'm like, wow, that's like so cool. Like to me, that like, I don't know. I feel like not a lot of people get that. I mean, of course, she's like super privileged, but like. That was like her number one goal in life, to play that role, and she's doing it. So like, I'm like, she's probably going to be really good at it.
It is like, not inspiring. It's very inspiring.
Yeah. Like, I don't know. I'm trying to think of an example. Like, I don't know. I feel like I don't have anything like that specific that would like make me feel the same exact way. But anyways, I went into it just as like an Ariana Grande fan, and she really was like, to me, the standout performance of the whole movie. I look at her in a whole different light, and I think a lot of people are. I think like this is gonna like, Ariana Grande is obviously already like a huge fucking star, but I think this is gonna take her to another level because, damn, like I knew she could sing, but like she could really fucking sing.
Yeah,
and her acting was good. I think like, I don't know, it was a little too long. And like the first hour is a little rough or tough for me to get through. But once I was in. And like the ending was so powerful that like I don't remember the last time I felt this way after a movie, knowing that there's a sequel. But I was like, I need to see the second part right now. And the fact that I can't see it for a whole year or whenever it comes out sucks.
Interesting.
It leaves off like, you're like, no, I want to. Yeah, you really want to know more.
Okay.
And I guess most people do know more because they've seen Wicked.
Know Wicked.
But yeah. I don't know Wicked. So like, it's kind of like when I listen to a brand new album. It's a brand new album for me. Yeah, that's my Wicked review.
I'm ready to watch.
Yeah, I think you'll like it even more than I did.
Oh.
I don't know why, but because I mean, you like.
Yeah.
You're like
I like cheesy stuff.
Yeah. You like animated film. Not that it's animated, but
yeah, I love a feel good story, and I've heard that it's a pretty feel good story.
Yeah. Have you seen Wicked, like on Broadway?
No. Yeah. I don't even know. I know that it's based on The Wizard of Oz, or like
it's like an adaptation story. Yeah. I was really glad to see like you kind of see Dorothy and like the Tin Man, Scarecrow, and everything like for a second, like in the beginning, and I was like, oh, like I don't know, because The Wizard of Oz is honestly one of my favorite movies, probably like top 5 or at least top 10 favorite movies of all time. I think I watch it like once a year.
Did you ever watch the spin-off versions of them? There's one with like the wheelies. No. Oh, they're creepy.
Really?
It'll give you nightmares.
I know there's one that came out like a while ago about it was like about the story of Oz.
Yes, that's the one. Oh, the guys with the feets for wheels. The feets.
Oh. I don't know what you're talking about, but I don't think I saw it, but I don't think it did well either. Like reviews were bad and everything.
It was crazy. Anyways, put it on your list or don't.
Yeah, I'm out of breath. Controversial opinion: not having plans is having plans.
You don't have to tell me twice.
You know, like sometimes like when people like ask you like, oh, like what are you doing tonight? And you tell them like, oh, I'm just going to stay in and like watch a movie. They take that as like, oh, you don't have plans. Like come do whatever.
Let me give you plans.
Right. And then it's like, if you tell them like, no, like I want to, it's like people don't necessarily understand that like I want to stay home. Those are the plans. Like I'm not doing this because like I don't have a life. This is the life that I want tonight. You know what I mean?
No, I know exactly what you mean.
Right.
I also,
but then you feel guilty in a way, right?
Because you're like, I technically am not doing anything. So that was in air quotes, right. But but that's exactly what I want to do.
Right.
No. And I wish honestly that I was a little bit more spontaneous, go with the flow, whatever. But I'm really not. I'm really not. I can be spontaneous in that you're like, hey, I want to book a trip in a month. I'll be like, okay, let's book it. But as far as like, you want my time and energy immediately, I'm not ready.
I agree. I'm the same way. I'm like, I run off a schedule, or not even like a physical schedule, but like in my head, I know how like my week goes. You know, like certain days are dedicated to certain things. Like I allot myself a certain amount of time for social activities. So like when things are like thrown at me like unexpectedly, it really throws me off. And I'm like, sometimes I'm able to adjust, but most times I'm not really willing to.
Yeah. Well, and I'm kind of like, I do the same thing but I also am, I don't know, I get really, I don't know what the word for it is, not worked up, but I start conserving my energy a lot more if I know that I have a big weekend. Like this weekend, I have to do a certification that's Friday and Saturday from 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. and then Sunday from 8 a.m. to 3 p.m. So I'm like, I know that I'm doing all that. Plus I also have a birthday Friday night and a birthday Saturday night. So I know that it's going to be a huge energy sucking weekend for me, regardless of whether it'll be fun or not. So I'm soaking up every precious minute of home time in the meantime.
And that's so fair.
Yeah.
Like, that's so fair.
Yeah. But it also feels really weird to be like, oh no, I can't do anything tonight because I'm actually doing things this weekend.
I have plans in 3 weeks from now, so I can't hang out with you tonight.
I just like can't.
Yeah.
Don't have it in me. Okay. I have a few, so we don't have to spend a lot of time on them, but we'll go through. Imitation can be the best form of flattery, but it is also annoying.
Yeah.
If you feel like somebody is directly copying you, it's like, ugh, you know, and maybe it's just because of the saying, imitation is the best form of flattery, but it's also annoying.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of a specific example. Do you have one?
No, not off the top of my head.
I won't, like, if someone asks me, like, oh, like, I love, like, your top, like, where'd you get it? I feel like a lot of people don't want people to like.
Oh, that's weird.
I don't care about that stuff.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah.
And why, I don't know why clothes didn't really register for me, but I don't know. It's like little things. Like you can feel when someone around you is just doing the same things that you're doing.
Yeah.
And it's just, I don't know, makes me not like that.
Yeah. I get it too. Like it is annoying when like, because it's ultimately like someone not being authentic. Like you're like,
yeah, maybe I feel like I wouldn't be as annoyed if they acknowledged it, or it's just like, oh yeah, I saw you do this and I loved it and I copied it. And I'm like, oh, thank you so much.
Yeah.
Then I do feel flattered. But if you're just doing the same things or like saying the same things, or if I feel like you're mimicking me, I'm annoyed.
I see it all the time. I mean, we see it all the time on like social media. Like people are I mean, I guess it's like trends, but like not even that. People are like just like retelling jokes,
right? And
like calling it their own, and then like getting so much engagement over it. And I'm like,
don't like it.
Yeah, I don't know. To me, I feel like a lot of people like are so oblivious to that, and like don't even care. And maybe I care too much, but like to me, it's just like, ugh, like that's not your joke.
Yeah. Well, I'm not like heavy clocking it. If for people that are listening, I'm not like, oh my gosh, that seems kind of like something I would do. But if it's consistent over time, yeah, kind of to your point, it just doesn't seem very authentic. So I'm like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is annoying, but I also
it's like really tough when everyone wants to be you. Okay.
I don't think anyone wants to be me.
I don't know. I disagree. I do.
You want to be me?
Okay. Okay. Don't hold the door if I'm more than 10 feet away.
Oh my God. I'm not running.
I will. And it's embarrassing.
Oh, I won't.
Yeah.
You will? You'll run?
Probably. I'll go into a little trot.
I guess I probably have done that before. But yeah, that's yeah.
I've also definitely done that to people too. Because there is just like this weird space that you're in that's like, am I rude if I shut the door and I know that they're coming? Or
that's why I'm
like, just shut the door.
Don't look back.
Yeah.
I'll like when I open doors, like I open it and like I kind of like hold it for a second. Like if someone's behind me, like I helped you out a little bit, but I'm not gonna look behind me. Luckily we live in New York and like no one's that friendly, I think.
Right. But I think because of that, I try to be.
Yeah.
I try to be a little Southern belle in the big city. You know what I mean?
I don't think New Yorkers are rude. I just don't think New Yorkers go out of their way to be helpful.
Right.
Necessarily.
Yeah.
Something I like was thinking or like remembered is, and I think I forgot because I've been living here for like 5 years now. I forget how much, like how other people in other states really don't like New York. Do you know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
I forget. Like,
we get a bad rap.
Yeah, like
I say I'm in it.
Yeah, but like, you go back to like your hometown, or like, I remember there was this whole thing. A lot of my family lives in Baltimore. Like, people in Baltimore like just like don't like New Yorkers. I know like people in Boston don't really like New Yorkers. I think
we do get a bad rap that we're rude, but I don't think that's true.
Yeah.
I think if you're wandering around Times Square, probably, but we've talked about that before, but I don't think that is true.
I think where that's coming from is I think people think that New Yorkers think that they're better than everyone else.
Not entirely wrong.
And that's why they hate people that live in New York.
Probably.
Yeah. But what are you going to do?
What are you going to do?
Not apologizing for it, as I stated in the beginning of the podcast.
Okay. This one I found on the internet, and I just think it's kind of funny. All butts look gross in sweatpants. Even gray sweatpants. What's the appeal? But there is something hot about sweatpants.
You think butts look gross?
I don't think butts look good in sweatpants. They definitely don't like accentuate your butt. It's
maybe
like
not yours.
Saggy. Okay, chill.
Mine look good.
We're hitting an insecurity.
I disagree. Like I know my ass looks great in any pants really. And no pants, but
and this is where Bryan plugs his OnlyFans at.
No, I think a butt can look really nice in sweatpants. I don't know what you're talking about.
Okay. I disagree.
Like
not that I disagree that sweatpants don't look good. I think they look good in athletic. I don't think I've ever looked at someone's ass in sweatpants and been like, damn, that's an ass.
I guess it's like the type of sweatpant, but I'm envisioning like something completely different than you apparently.
Okay. Well, jury's out. All right. And then I'll say last
one.
If multiple animals don't like you, I don't think I should either.
If multiple animals don't like you?
Like for example,
I'm picturing like a wolf and like a horse.
Still, I don't think I should. Okay, so a man came into my apartment today. Yeah, he was doing a inspection, and
he worked in your building.
He worked in my building, and then Samson was there, which I understand that Samson, very big. That's my dog. He can be kind of intimidating.
Yeah.
So I pulled him back for a little while, but honestly, like Samson's never bit anyone ever. So I let him go and I was like, oh, he's fine. He was like, oh, I just got bit by a dog that, they said was a good dog. And I was like, okay, well, I'll hold him back, I guess. And then he left. And that was just a thought that went into my mind. I'm just like, if there are multiple dogs that are like coming for you, there's a reason you're not a good person.
And that's a thing too. Like, I feel like some people are like dog whisperers or cat whisperers. Like I guess animals can like read energy, and in my mind,
dogs. I don't know about that guy, but dogs love to see me coming.
Yeah, I've never like really met a dog that didn't like me.
Yeah,
cats are a different breed.
Yeah, I think I shouldn't have said that actually, because Noah has come for me, but we're working on it.
Yeah,
we're working on it. I just crossed a boundary of his.
Yeah, cats are different though. Like, I don't know. But I think if we're talking dogs specifically, like if you're saying multiple dogs have like bit you and you weren't antagonizing them, it's probably something that you need to look.
Something's
within.
off.
Yeah.
Something is off.
Yeah.
And I'm clocking it.
Yeah.
Anyway. That's what we got.
Go pet a dog.
Go pet a dog. And if it bites you, look internally.
Yeah. All right.
Like, comment, subscribe.
We'll see you next week.
Bye.
Bye.